Hey, I'm Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life. You know, if you're my age, you probably grew up watching music television or MTV. It was always controversial and on the cutting edge of today's youth. And then something kind of weird happened around 2000 or so. MTV just kind of quit playing music altogether and kind of went into the reality show business. And they're not as relevant as they used to be. These days, MTV is kind of branching out and doing some different things. They've actually landed on the internet. The name of the video is 2017 Resolutions for White Guys. And it is kind of funny and a whole lot offensive. Again, I'll link in the description and you can decide. But here's the thing, I totally understand why MTV has to shake it up a little bit and be controversial. After all, they really haven't been relevant in a few years. So I thought I would post a video on 10 ways MTV can become relevant. Again, number 10, live in a new reality. Listen, MTV, I know that you love reality television. It's good stuff 15, 20 years ago. I mean, investing in all of those reality TV shows instead of making your mark and making your way on the internet, it was probably bad planning in hindsight, but we need to think forward, progressive. And it's true, most of our grandparents, even in my age group, have more of a internet footprint than MTV had during the first decade of the 2000s. That's okay, you missed it, big deal. I mean, don't worry about not being as relevant as you used to be. You can get it back. Don't concentrate or focus on things like Alex Jones getting more hits in one day than you get on YouTube in a month, or the fact that Justin Bieber has more YouTube hits than you do. Don't focus on those things. That's focusing on the negative. Focus on the positive. Be focused on the next generation of emerging adults. And the good news is, well, they really don't know who you are. They didn't grow up watching you at all. Oh, sure, maybe there was an occasional child that stayed at home from school and when they were flipping channels, it landed on an MTV show that might have been a little controversial for the time. But they usually forgot what channel they were watching, and they can't imagine watching a channel that their parents thought was actually cool for music. But this means you have a fresh chance with that audience because they really don't know who you are and your opinion doesn't really matter to them. But that's okay. That means that you have a fresh chance. So this is an opportunity. Don't miss it. Number 8, I've got 3 words for you. MTV Senior Channel. Why create new content when you can pay your bills selling nostalgia to old people like me? Old people like me remember life before cable television, and who knows, you could turn out as successful as the new Star Wars movies. Look at it this way. Over the next 20 years, people who grew up with MTV, well, they'll be retiring and they'll have a lot more time on their hands. Time enough to watch MTV Gold. You like that? MTV Gold on MTV Senior Channel. Tell me what you think. And trust me, they'll want their MTV right around pudding time. Have clever advertising like money for nothing and chicks for free. And don't worry about that not being politically correct. Because it's not, but who cares? You're MTV, you'll get by with it. I mean, after all, you've made a lot of money airing videos that exploit women and minorities. Trust me, the public won't even notice. They're used to how you are. And as long as you're exploiting minorities and women equally, that's true equality, right? Oh yeah, that's what we'll tell them anyway. Hang in there. And number 6, a parent's bailout. Have your parent company Viacom bail you out, just like they did back in 2015. You remember that lawsuit was filed when you decided not to pay your interns for a few years? That was great. I mean, forget raising the minimum wage. Why pay them at all? I love it. That's progressive. And look at it this way. All the money that you save, you can create better videos and put them right here on YouTube. You know, the channel that you sued 3 different times and lost. We don't talk about that much. At number 5, think forward. That's right. Don't dwell on the past. Don't even dwell on the past 15 years. No one else has been thinking about you. The reality of it is there's thousands and thousands of websites dedicated to why MTV sucks. In fact, there are more websites dedicated to why MTV sucks than negative things about Donald Trump, which does say a lot, but we can work with this. We just have to be patient and move forward. Number 4, public awareness campaigns. Now, MTV, you have led the way in public awareness. This isn't so much of an idea as much as it is something that you need to maintain. Continue keeping the public aware about the things that matter, like gender equality and human trafficking. And nothing addresses gender equality like settling rape lawsuits out of court. That was a win for you and the victim. And kudos for mansplaining how the victim failed to avoid the injury she sustained. the MTV. I'm telling you, you just need to remember your roots. Number 3, Reimagine the MTV Music Awards. Listen, I know your ratings are down, but we can fix this. Besides, what do you know about music these days? Really? That's why it's time to have the award show just before a Donald Trump campaign. That way, you know there's a crowd there and people will be watching you on television. And that's better than them not watching you on television, right? And don't worry about sending mixed messages. You've been sending mixed messages for 30 years. No one will notice. And if somebody calls you out on it, don't worry about it. Just give them a nice, smooth, canned corporate answer. Just like you did back in the early 1980s, when people asked you why you weren't playing music made by black people. When you told people that there really wasn't a such thing as a blackout, that you were just essentially playing to the audience that loved your music. Good answer. And always, always promote freedom of speech and political movements. Today's society, with today's youth, it is so important to promote public service. And it begins with the vote. In MTV, you have been champions at getting young people out to the polls to vote, except for this last election. You set the standard of getting artists and fans to speak their mind, unless it's Kanye. Because nothing says freedom of speech better than ostracizing one of your own. And finally, be important. It's time for MTV to think out of the box and be more creative. You can do what a lot of people are doing to get a lot of views on YouTube, like posting controversial videos pitting Americans against each other, making them hate each other even. That will put you back on the map. I'm Bill Marion. This has been A Nose for Life. I really appreciate you watching. Please hit that subscribe and like button, even if you're writing mean comments in the comment section. Either way, if you get more time, check out these other 2 videos.